live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
One candidate for Illinois governor makes a stop in the state line today. The other will be here tomorrow, just before Election Day. Now that Halloween is over, what do we do with all of the jack-o'-lanterns? A local museum uses the opportunity to teach kids about science and to make sure the leftover pumpkins don't go to waste. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame welcomes a historic class, how one of the inductees is embracing rock and roll stardom. Good evening, I'm Taylor Castro. Thanks for joining us tonight. 3 people are dead and 3 others injured in a Rock County crash. It happened Saturday around 9:45 p.m. According to the Rock County Sheriff's Office, a vehicle failed to stop at West State Highway 11 while southbound. A car traveling west struck the vehicle on the driver's side. Both drivers died along with a passenger. 3 other passengers were taken to the hospital. 2 Rockford residents and 2 cats are left without a home after a house fire. The Rockford Fire Department responded to a house in the 1400 block of James Avenue around 11 a.m. Sunday. They found heavy smoke coming from the basement garage. The house was severely damaged and condemned by the building department. No one was injured. The residents are being assisted by the Red Cross, and the cats were turned over to animal control. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A firefighter is injured while battling flames in the basement of the historic Winnebago County Court building. Crews responded to the complex on Elm Street around 10:45 Saturday night. According to the Rockford Fire Department, the fire started in a storage room without a fire sprinkler system. They were on the scene for hours. Damage is estimated at $225,000. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The injured firefighter has since been released from the hospital. The courthouse will be closed on Monday. Republican candidate for governor Darren Bailey made a stop in the state line today. Bailey and his running mate Stephanie Trussell held a rally in Roscoe today at Boot Camp Academy. They discussed issues in the state and the Rockford region ahead of Tuesday's midterm elections.
Rockford used to be an amazing manufacturing hub, and business has moved out. We need business to start moving back in, but they're not going to when, number 1, they don't feel safe, when number 2, our taxes are too high, and number 3, our schools are failing.
Governor J.B. Pritzker will make a campaign stop in Rockford tomorrow. We'll have more on his visit in the shows then. World leaders are gathering in Egypt to discuss strategies to address climate change at COP27. The key issues on the agenda are cutting emissions and supporting emerging countries as major weather events impact more people and cost billions of dollars to repair. More than 40,000 participants registered for this year's UN Climate Change Conference. Organizers say over 120 world leaders will attend COP27. President Biden is expected to arrive later this week. Absent from the conference roster are China's President Xi Jinping and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. China and India are 2 of the world's biggest polluters. Their lack of participation in the conference could hinder major deals to cut emissions. U.S. oil companies are cutting back despite high global demand. The Wall Street Journal reports that the fracking slowdown comes amid what was supposed to be a productive year for oil companies. But with rising inflation and supply chain issues, many are instead limiting their output. Third-quarter oil prices were about $100 a barrel. Meanwhile, many U.S. oil companies are reporting profits significantly higher over last year. Amazon's recent move to expand its music streaming catalog comes as other companies like Walmart have added premium memberships with faster shipping times and streaming deals. The Wall Street Journal reports Amazon's Prime growth rate is expected to slow by 2% by 2025. Amazon has responded by increasing original content like the new Lord of the Rings show and by branching into football streaming. Now that the Halloween festivities are over, kids in the state line are exploring ways to get rid of their jack-o'-lanterns. The Discovery Center showed them how to launch, crack, split, and smash their pumpkins with simple machines like levers and pulleys. The pumpkins were launched across the museum's parking lot. Combining fun with science, kids could also build their own mini catapult.
My favorite part of this event is the joy on kids' faces. Seeing pumpkins fly, seeing pumpkins smash. Every once in a while we hit a target and there's lots of celebration. For me, that's just a blast to see everyone having fun together as a family.
When the launching is over, the pumpkin pieces are collected and fed to local livestock. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has new members. From R&B to country music, the 2022 class of inductees were among the most diverse in the Hall's history. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Dolly Parton joined fellow inductees including Eminem, Lionel Richie, Duran Duran, Carly Simon, The Eurythmics, and Pat Benatar last night in Los Angeles. She embraced her rock and roll stardom after initially declining, saying she hadn't earned the right to become a member.
I just thought that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was for the rockers of the world. But anyway, when I found out it was a little more than that, just the fact that I had influenced people with my music. And I said if they put me in, I would accept it gracefully, and I'm here and I will, and I'm honored.
Dolly Parton announced she's going to put out a rock and roll album. She said it will include duets with iconic rock and rollers, plus a few original songs she's written. Last night's ceremony will be televised November 19th on HBO. The economy and inflation are two of the most important issues for voters as they head to the polls for Tuesday's midterm elections. Mary Alice Parks has the latest on the battle for control of Congress.
Americans' frustration over the economy and President Biden's low approval rating have Republicans feeling confident they will gain back control of both the House and the Senate. The latest ABC News Washington Post poll shows that the economy and inflation top the list of issues most important to likely voters. Democratic Senator Cory Booker admits his party faces a difficult election on Tuesday, but still he says he sees a path for Democrats to keep control of the Senate.
And even though our economy is tough, people think about it and say, wait a minute, this is the party trying to protect unions. This is the party that made sure we did things to lower prescription drug costs and lower health care costs.
But Virginia's Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin believes voters will send a wake-up call to the president and elect Republicans to regain full control of both chambers of Congress.
I hope that President Biden sees what Americans are gonna say to him on Tuesday, which is we're not happy and we need a different agenda.
Pennsylvania is one of the battleground states that could decide which party controls the Senate, both sides sending in some political star power. President Biden and former President Obama joining forces at a rally for Democratic Senate candidate John Fetterman and gubernatorial candidate Josh Shapiro.
Truth and facts and logic and reason and basic decency are on the ballot.
Former President Trump campaigning for the Republican ticket in Pennsylvania, Doug Mastriano running for governor, and Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz.
If you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, then this Tuesday you must vote Republican.
Americans are turning out, and that has Democrats feeling optimistic. The number of early ballots cast has surpassed the number of early voters during the last midterm election in 2018. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Washington.
You won't want to miss Tuesday morning's lunar eclipse. We won't see another one for another 3 years. The total lunar eclipse will be visible across the American continents, as well as Asia and Australia. The best views will be in the western U.S., Russia, Japan, and New Zealand. The moon will pass through the shadow of the Earth, turning red and becoming what's known as a blood moon. It will last about an hour and a half, starting at 4:16 a.m. our time. During the eclipse, the planet Uranus will also be visible just above the moon.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, a little improvement in our weather, both for this morning and afternoon as compared to yesterday. At least we didn't have the strong winds like we did yesterday. Still a little on the breezy side, putting a bit of a chill in the air, but temperatures for today made it back into the upper 50s. We are cooling off quickly, though, as our winds do turn light. 53 in Freeport, Rockford, 51 right now in Monroe, 54 in Janesville, and down to 50 degrees right now in Galena. We take a look with our SkyTrack camera out at the Poplar Grove Airport. Nice and quiet, but oh, look at that. The sun set here this evening at 4:44. Yeah, as daylight saving time came to an end. Set your clocks back last night, so the sun comes up a little earlier, but it does set earlier as well. This means as our days get shorter and shorter, the likelihood of us reaching those 60s and 70s continue to go by the wayside. with the exception of this week. Those numbers actually going to go up here in the next couple of days. Winds are coming down from where they were earlier today, and I think with our wind turning somewhat light, there may be some areas of patchy fog in the lower lying region, but still with the breeze at about 5 to 8 miles per hour. Likely won't see anything too widespread. Temperatures, they go up midweek where numbers could actually come close, if not reach the 70 degrees once again. But what goes up must go down, and those numbers, they are really going to go down here by the end of this week and for this weekend. All of that tied into this kind of wobbly looking jet stream that we have well off to the Pacific Northwest. Kind of this rise and then dip in the jet stream that kind of buckles our jet stream closer to us and brings yet another big fall system, which will really bring those temperatures down with another strong cold front late Thursday into Friday. Things for us though this evening, pretty quiet. We've had a few clouds kind of off to the northwest of us after we were able to see some sunshine out there early on. We'll see a few clouds from time to time, but I generally expect a mostly clear sky as we go through the night tonight. This will allow our temperature when you wake up tomorrow morning to drop down into the low 30s. So it is going to be a little cool tomorrow. We'll see some sunshine, but our numbers will fall short from where we were this afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s, pretty close to where we should be actually for this time of year, as our northwest wind turns a little more to the northeast. A little breezy at times too. Few clouds around Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday we end up with a little more cloud cover as a warm front passes off to our west and northwest, but as our wind turns to the southeast, temperatures climb back up above average, mid and upper 50s for Tuesday afternoon. After that, temperatures on Wednesday, hey, 66, not bad, close to that 70 on Thursday, so looking good and staying mostly dry, although we get a little more cloud cover. This cold front, however, brings us changes late Thursday into Friday. Temperatures will tumble Friday afternoon. We spend most of the day in the 40s, if not the 30s. And then we've got the 30s for highs coming up for Saturday and Sunday. 33, that's where we end up here for the overnight tonight. Tomorrow up to 53. Cool start, partly cloudy, a light breeze out there from the northwest and then to the northeast. You see those numbers? We warm up here Wednesday, Thursday. We do add in some cloud cover. Small chance for a couple of showers. Might see a little late Tuesday into early Wednesday. And then again with that cold front Thursday into Friday. But it gets cold, and those overnight lows too, Taylor, they take a drop by next weekend.
Now, sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Well, the Bears suffered another loss here today at Soldier Field, this time to the Miami Dolphins, but my oh my, what an entertaining game it was. The final score was 35-32, a whole lot of big plays in this game, and really the one we're going to look back on is the one that probably cost the Bears was in the second quarter when they had a punt blocked. It was returned for a touchdown by the Dolphins. If not for that play, the Bears might have very well come away with a victory today. Bears gave up defensively a lot of yards to the Dolphins, plus 3 touchdown passes by Tua. That was to be expected, of course, with the Bears defense down, going backwards, really, without Roquan now and Robert Quinn. So that's going to be a continual struggle on that side of the football. But the offense certainly looked good, made more strides today. Listen to this. The last 3 weeks now, the Bears offense have put up 33 points, 29 points, and 32 points. Pretty darn good. And for the 4th straight game, the Bears as a team had over 200 yards rushing, and Justin Fields was magnificent. He threw 3 touchdown passes, had a spectacular 61-yard touchdown run. In all, he rushed for 178 yards. That is a new NFL single-game record by any quarterback, breaking the old record that was held by Michael Vick, which he set in 2002, of 173 yards. So what does that NFL record mean to Justin Fields? Here's what he said after the game.
It means a lot, the amount of, Bears quarterbacks, that that's been here. This franchise has been around for a long time, so I'm definitely honored for sure. I think I'm just growing and getting better each and every week, and my main goal right now is just to continue to do that. Continue to trend up, and each and every day I practice, just keep getting better and better, and that's really all you can do.
We have a young football team. We're building upon that, and the centerpiece of that is the quarterback. It's the way it is in the NFL, and talk about toughness and grit and the ability, to persevere through a lot of different things. Obviously, the start of the season, he was feeling his way, and now all of a sudden, now the last 3 games, he's really taken off, and we're excited about that as a group, and we're excited about that, for the Chicago Bears and the franchise. And like I told the guys, in the locker room, I said, guys, just keep working, keep having determination, get tighter as a group. We're building the football team, and they understand that. I know everybody was disappointed, but we were right in it at the end. And those experiences are invaluable for our football team to be able to be in those moments.
Fields also became the first NFL quarterback ever to throw for 3 touchdown passes and rush for 140 or more yards in a single game. And when you consider the Michael Vicks, Cam Newtons, and Lamar Jacksons, they've never done that. So what a special performance it was by Justin Fields, who has suddenly become one of the most dynamic and entertaining players in the entire NFL. Chase Claypool made his debut today, 6 targets, 2 receptions, 13 yards, quiet day for him, but he'll pick that up as the weeks go by. Meanwhile, the Lions are going to come in here next Sunday, and the Lions today beat the Packers 15-9. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 picks in that game. That's the story from Soldier Field. The Bears come up short against the Dolphins, 35-32. We'll be right back.
Our first warning, interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Things are pretty quiet, but kind of cold for us here as the sun does set this evening. We've got a few clouds out there tonight. Temperatures down in the low 30s, up to 53 for tomorrow. We add in a little more cloud cover on Tuesday, mid-upper 60s. Wednesday, Thursday looks good, but then the temperatures really drop back here at the end of the week and for the weekend.
Quite the cool down. Thanks, Candace, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 10.